Picture this. You're driving to God knows where when a storm rolls in. After a while, you're forced to stop somewhere, and that's when you spot a diner in the distance. You pull in, step out the car, and completely soak your socks in the process. I mean, seriously, look at that. And walk inside. When you walk in, there's a woman at the counter in front of you. Her name is Maggie. From here, you can go either left or right. To your right, there's two people sitting across from one another at a booth. Talking to either of them, you find out that their names are Edith and Ethan. The two seem to be a couple. Ethan proceeds to ask if we smoke, to which we say no. Then he asks if we shoot, and you're presented with three options. Shoot hoops, shoot drug, or yes, though you two don't seem like marksmen yourselves. Saying either shoot hoops or shoot drugs have slight dialogue differences, but ultimately lead to asking what drugs Ethan is on, and Edith answering, Ethan here gets whatever is on sale that week. And Ethan saying that if he isn't, he should step back. Though answering with yes, though you two don't look like marksmen yourselves, leads to this. Whoa man, you a cop or something? I'm on the road a lot. It pays to be prepared. Don't you believe in peace? Yeah, but there are a lot of bad people out there that don't. You're alright, man. And then a star shows up. This is the main mechanic of this game, and it's how you gain trust of people stuck in a diner with you, which will be important in a bit, I promise. Going further to the right, you find an empty booth to sit at. Sweet! You try to sit, but... okay. Asshole. Okay, since that option has been exhausted, let's go to the left. Heading to the left, you see a girl slouched in her chair. Upon talking to her, you're immediately shut down with a, I'm not doing autographs or photos right now. Excuse me, but who are you? Don't you know me? I'm Brunastar. I have 3 million followers on iPosting. Sorry, I'm not on that app. What? How do you keep up with people? I've got a ham radio on my rig. Got pretty good range on it too. Huh, cool. Would you want to do a live stream interview with me about it? The dialogue then branches off to either saying, an interview with me, or, it's not really the time. It doesn't matter what you choose here. Either way, she tells you that she's from Germany, and that storms are happening there as well. Then she follows up on her interview offer. You can say yes, which gives you a star, or say no, and get nothing. If you go further down, there's an old man sitting in the booth. You ask if you can sit down, and he says it's fine, and that his name is Casper. We also find out that our name is Noah. Casper tells us to go talk to the others, which we already did, so we just sit down. Maggie comes and serves us, and suddenly, the lights go out, and everyone starts freaking out. Well, more like just Edith and Bruno. Suddenly, there's a huge eye staring at us outside the window. Casper asks if we feel it, and I mean, how could we not? Casper says, I'll get to the point. This place isn't safe. It's no ordinary storm out there, and these walls won't protect from more than rain and wind. You might try to find somewhere safer. All the better if you bring some of the others with you. You head over to Maggie, and she tells you about a generator in the shed that she can never get working. She gives you the keys, and you head out back. You're able to fix the generator, but when you step outside, you see eyes staring at you, before scurrying off. You decide to go over and check the radio, which is where you hear this. That was Bread and Circuses by the Lady Girls. We have another caller on the line. Hi, this is DJ Dean with KJ Radio. Who do we have on the line tonight? Hi? Hello? Dean? Yep, this is Dean. Who's calling? Dean, if you've got to warn people. There's something out in the rain. Something big. We're setting up Hello? Buddy? Buddy, are you there? At Hope Springs. We're huge at Hope. Hopefully he calls back. The next song is... Maybe Bruna has info about Hope Springs? Seeing as she's always traveling and all. You go over to Bruna. She thanks you for fixing the power. She then asks, do you think there will be enough power to charge my phone? Hard to say, Bruna. What's so important on your phone anyway? She then says that her friends are giving updates, and that the power didn't just go out here, it went out worldwide. We asked if this is some type of big prank, but unfortunately, it isn't. Bruna then tells us that her friend told her Tokyo went dark 30 minutes ago. This same friend also says that there's something outside her window, looking in. But Bruna's friend works on the 48th floor, which, side note, what building is this friend working at? The Empire State Building? Why is it so tall? And now the friend is no longer answering her phone. Talking to Bruna again, we find out that Hope Springs isn't too far from our current location. She asks why we want to head that way, and we could pick between two options. I think it would be safer there with everything going on, or the old man behind you told me to look for somewhere safer. Saying the first option grants you another star, but saying the second option...
Foreshadowing is a narrative...
Going back over to the right, Ethan and Edith seem to be in a bit of a dispute. Do you hear that? Hear what? Ugh, just ignore him. No, can't you hear the whispering? He seems quieter to me now that the TV is off. The TV isn't off. Yes, it is. Noah, right? Please tell Ethan he's just hearing things. No, it's on, I'm telling you. There's two options here. You're just on a bad trip, or what's the TV showing? Clicking the first option grants Edith a star, or the second option leads to this dialogue. Oh, the TV is nothing. He's just on a bad trip. He just needs to calm down and ride it out. It's big and curious, and no, it's nothing. I can hear something from your belly, too. Shut up. I offered to pay for the procedure. What more do you want from me? Ugh, it's not about the baby, it's nothing. I don't want anything from you anymore. So after witnessing a relationship fall apart right in front of your eyes, you talk to Ethan again. Son, the TV is still on. There's two options here, but the first one doesn't get you anything. Though the second one, what's it showing now? An eye, big, cold, and with too many corners. An eye, that's weird. It's talking too. What's it telling us? It's not talking? No, it's not talking to us. You wouldn't talk to an ant after all. So after realizing the eye is way more powerful than we originally thought, we'd head over and talk to Edith. What do you want? Are you okay? No, my mom was right about him. What did she say about him? That he was a loser? This is kind of a weird situation, to be fair. He can't handle normal situations either. I'm scared. He's high. He's just running away like always. What did you see in him in the first place? What did I see in him? After checking up on Juan, there's a scratching from the back door. You're presented with two options. Open the door or lock it. Everyone tells you to keep it locked, but against your better judgment, you gently open the door. And it's a puppy! Doggy! My goodness. Got lucky this time. Shut your bitch ass up, Juan. You didn't know it was out there. It could have been dangerous. Nah, the door wasn't dangerous. It's the windows you gotta look out for. Windows? I don't see a damn thing out the window. Rain starts to pour in from the broken window, and like a character in a horror movie, we go over to check it out. Oh no! Was anyone hurt? I'm all good here, but there's something weird about this. What do you mean? Can't you see it? The broken glass is all outside, like it was sucked out. How is that possible? It's getting hungry. Ethan, I can fix this. Pass me that tablecloth and chair. You help Juan fix the window and finally have a thought. You know what? I can just leave. So you go to the door and exit it. Huh, that's weird. I wonder what that warning is for. You exit the diner, alone. You check your maps for a place called Hope Springs. You get a rough idea where it is, but your maps are outdated. The storm makes it difficult to find your way, and the road signs are illegible. It is not long before you're hopelessly lost. You head out alone into the dark and are never heard from again. Oh, that's why the warning's there. Now, the more observant viewers might have noticed that the text at the bottom says, ending 1, and remember when I said this? This is the main mechanic of this game, and it's how you gain trust of people stuck in a diner with you, which will be important in a bit, I promise. Yeah, it's important now. I purposely made sure not to mention that you can convince people to come with you before leaving, and that is tied to those stars. If you don't have enough trust, then they won't come with you. This is how you get the rest of the endings. So now that we've covered the first playthrough / non-chaining dialogue of the game, we can get into the endings. Once you go through your first playthrough and go back for the other endings, you realize that the dialogue stays 90% the same between each run. So there's really not much to cover most of the endings, except for 2, but we'll get to those in a second. Ending 2, leave for just one other person or animal. You still end up getting lost, but at least you got the dog, right? Ending 3, you exit the diner with Bruna, Edith, and the dog. Bruna charts her out with you to Hope Springs. The storm makes it difficult to find your way, and road signs are illegible, but Bruna's GPS tracks every twist and turn. While driving, you notice something impossibly large quickly approaching your truck. You floor your vehicle, but it's too late, and you feel something crash into the truck, toppling it over. You and your group are never heard from again. To get this ending, you have to leave without having Ethan or Juan, which results in you crashing. Ending 4, you exit the diner with Bruna and Juan. Bruna and Juan chart a route with you to Hope Springs. The storm makes it difficult to find your way, and the road signs are illegible, but Bruna's GPS tracks every twist and turn. While driving, Juan points out something impossibly large quickly approaching your truck. You floor your vehicle and feel something trying to claw at it, but you barely manage to make it away. You finally arrive at the Hope Springs stronghold, where a number of other survivors are gathered, but the stronghold is more like a makeshift camp. But Juan's carpentry expertise provides everyone with sturdier shelter. The stronghold rations are stale and cold. They are enough to survive on, but only barely. This is the ending you're most likely going to get after your first playthrough. All you have to do is bring Bruna and Juan or Ethan. Ending 5. You exit the diner with Bruna and Ethan. Bruna charts her out with you to Hope Springs. The storm makes it difficult to find your way, and the road signs are illegible. I'm not saying that anymore. I'm not doing that anymore, bro. I'm so tired of, I've had to redo saying that single sentence like 5 different times on the other freaking sentences, bro. I'm not doing this anymore. The storm makes it difficult to find your way, and the road signs are impossible to read. But Bruna's GPS tracks every twist and turn. While driving, Ethan suddenly shouts with uncharacteristic energy, "Step on it, man, it's coming!" You don't question him, and you go as fast as you can without crashing. In your back mirror, you see a vague glimpse of an impossibly large shadow in the distance. Ethan calms down soon after. You finally arrive at the Hope Springs Stronghold, where a number of other survivors are gathered. The Stronghold is more like a makeshift camp in the chilly wind. The Stronghold's rations are stale and cold, so you bring out Maggie sandwiches and dig in. Maggie sandwiches are delicious. Maggie sandwiches are gone. Now you may be wondering, Maggie sandwiches? First off, how is this a different ending if the only difference is some sandwiches? Well, boy, I'll tell you. To get this ending, you have to do a whopping 27 steps. There is no way in hell I would ever go through and be able to figure that stuff out on my own. So I have a guide pulled up. At the beginning, talk to Ethan and Edith, and on the you shoot instead, pick the third option to get the first star with Ethan. Talk to Maggie, offer to help her, get first star with Maggie. Talk to Bruna, be nice and accept the interview, first star with Bruna. Talk to Casper, tell you've talked to everyone, advance the plot. Before going out, talk to Juan at the very right of the diner and tell him, yeah, best get ready for everything. First star with Juan. Get the key with Maggie, go repair the generator and come back. Instantly get a second star with Maggie. Talk to Maggie, pick free dinner from her pretty lady, third star Maggie. Talk to Maggie again, pick how did you end up clear out here? Then, no, I want to hear what happened. Fourth star Maggie, let her talk, then sounds like you really loved him. Fifth star Maggie. Go talk to Edith and Ethan, pick you're just on a bad trip. Get first star Edith. Talk to Ethan alone, now pick what's it showing now? Second star Ethan. Talk to Ethan again, pick whatever option. Go talk to Swan, instantly get a second star. Pick whatever option. Go listen to the radio, station 92 or 94. One will give you the first hint to the destination. Go talk to Edith, now alone. Pick Ethan was out of line for instant second star. Then pick what did you see in him in the first place? Go talk to Bruna, get instant second star. Then do not pick the unplug prompt. If you do, talk to her again and apologize. Talk to her again after listening to the radio to talk about the destination. Pick, I think it would be safer with everything that's going on, for an instant third star. Click the door and open it. The dog will come in and right then, the window near Juan will break. Go to the left, talk with the dog, give him food first, then pet him. Then talk to him a third time to pick the option of bringing him with you. Go to the window near Juan and make sure to help him patch it up. Talk to Juan and then pick, I'm gonna leave soon, for an instant third star. Then pick as many as I can, and then they will carry their own weight, and they get a 4 star from Juan. Proceed to invite him despite saying hard difficulty, and he will join you. Talk to Ethan then, what's up between you and Edith? Then, that's one approach I guess. Talk to him again and say, you have very good hearing, right? And tell him you're planning to leave. Then ask him to come. Despite only having 2 stars, he seems to accept it well. Talk to Edith, invite her to come, and tell, we all need to go as one. She accepts. Talk to Bruna. Get her to come too. Pick, don't you want to know what's happening? Don't your followers want to know what's happening? To get her 4th star. Then invite her and she will accept. Talk to Casper. He will recognize you got everyone to come except Maggie. Go talk to Maggie. Be careful when picking options here. This determines a different ending and we'll get to it in a second, I promise. Invite her to come. Maggie, please. You don't need to be scared of leaving. You've done it before. Your husband loves you, not the roadhouse. To get her 6th star. The difficulty will say impossible, but invite her. She will say no and offer you sandwiches. Accept the sandwiches. Leave the diner. That was a lot, huh? Well, the next ending isn't quite as complicated as this one is. Ending 6. You exit the diner with Juan. You don't have any particular destination, so you head towards the nearest city. The storm makes it difficult to find your way, and the road signs are impossible to read. But Juan helps keep you headed in the right direction. While driving, Juan points out something impossibly large, quickly approaching your truck. You floor your vehicle and feel something trying to claw at it, but you barely manage to make it away. You finally arrive at what should be the nearest city, but instead of buildings, you see nothing but destruction and massive holes in the ground. Your group presses on to the next city, but you only find empty towns and destroyed settlements everywhere you go. Exhausted, you settle in a makeshift shelter, but the ground starts rumbling. You look up and see giant, sharp teeth blotting out the sky. So, yeah, guess the radio really is important. Ending 0. Now, the more observant of you probably noticed that there were multiple options of staying and fortifying the diner, or when going to the exit, you can decide to stay instead. But trust me, you really don't want to do that. Ending 7. You exit the diner with everyone on board. Moments after you leave, the diner gets completely destroyed, but you all make it out safe. With everyone's help, you make it to Hope Springs Stronghold without further difficulty. The stronghold is more like a makeshift camp, but Juan's carpentry expertise provides everyone with sturdier shelter. Bruna's social media posts allow many more refugees to find the growing camp. Life in Hope Springs is tough, but Maggie's smile and good cooking never fails to cheer everyone up. To get this ending, you have to do the same thing as ending 5, but turn down Maggie's sandwiches. Casper tells you to turn the radio to 98, and it's a song Maggie listened to on her honeymoon, which pretty much confirms Casper is Maggie's late husband. Getting this ending left me with a few questions though. Like, What is this game about anyway? Well, my dear viewers, since you most likely can't form your own opinions very well and get them from YouTube videos, I'll do the thinking for you. Personally, I think this game is about grief and change. In Maggie's dialogue, she talks about how a man gave her a food truck, but would only let her use it if she went out with him. And then the food truck kept breaking down, and he'd only fix it if she went out with him. She eventually found out it was rigged to break, just so he'd have an excuse to talk to her, and the rest is history. Now, if it wasn't obvious enough, the guy is Casper. And this isn't just limited to Casper and Maggie. I think the same applies here to Edith and Ethan. Edith and Ethan are probably the most interesting characters in this game, second to Maggie and Casper, of course, but still interesting in their own right. Ethan seems to have gotten Edith pregnant, and the relationship is pretty much doomed to end in most cases. On the surface, Ethan seems like some junkie who doesn't really care about his own partner's feelings, and to be honest, that's kind of what he is. But when you ask Edith what she sees in him, we get to see a different side to him. He volunteers at animal shelters, and he made Edith food after failing a finals test. This doesn't make him a good guy, but he's also not a one-dimensional douchebag. I also think that the storm and eye aren't exactly meant to be taken literally. I feel like the storm, and by extension, the eye, represent change. Without the storm, we would have never stopped at the diner, and never met the cast of characters. Without the storm, Casper would have never been able to move on to the afterlife. Maggie would still be clinging on to her last remaining memory of Casper, the diner, and depending on your choices, Edith wouldn't dump Ethan. So basically what I'm getting at here is, the storm is a manifestation of Casper's wishes for his wife to move on. When it comes to all the endings, except for 7, Maggie refuses to go. She refuses to let go of the diner, and by extension, Casper, by leaving it behind. But as we know from Casper, the diner will not survive the storm. Just like the eye, change is unforgiving and will happen whether you want it to or not. And this leads me to my last point. The cutscene in ending 7 represents Maggie moving forwards. At first, I thought it was more of the characters running away, but I think it was more of them all moving forwards. The only way for Maggie to move forwards and grieve properly is to let the diner go and keep moving forwards. But at the same time, I could be looking way too deeply into this little 2-hour-long visual novel. Thanks for watching till the end. If you enjoyed the video, good, because I enjoyed making it. See you in the next one. Oh, there's still people here. Alright then, here's some extra yap, just for you. Thank you so much for the support in the last video. When I made that Doki Doki Takeover video, I wasn't expecting it to get more than 100 views because, I was talking about a multiple-year-old Friday Night Funkin' mod, where the topic of said mod was a game that came out 8 years ago. But honestly, it went better than I could have ever imagined. Look at the numbers. Just know I've read every comment, and it's given me the warmest feeling seeing new comments roll in. I've always wanted to make YouTube videos, and after many years of thinking it over, I finally decided to go for it. As you can see from my previous 2 videos, and now this one, I make videos about whatever I find interesting at the moment. I doubt anyone's ever heard of, let alone played, this little browser game. But since it interested me, I decided to make a video on it. I'll leave a link to the game in the description. Go play it. Even if it isn't action-packed or filled to the brim with content, it's a very interesting game, and I want more people to know about it and play it.